One sunny Saturday morning, Lily and Max, two curious and adventurous siblings, decided they were going to make pancakes for breakfast. They had watched their mom do it a million times, so how hard could it be, right? "All right, Max," Lily said with a determined look on her face. "We're going to make the fluffiest pancakes ever." Max, who was already licking a spoon he found in the drawer, nodded. "Yep, fluffy pancakes, like the ones on the TV." They pulled out the ingredients: flour, eggs, milk, and some very questionable-looking chocolate chips, and set to work. First, they mixed everything together in a bowl. Or at least, they tried to. It ended up looking more like a big, sticky mess. Max dumped a whole carton of milk into the bowl, not realizing the recipe only called for a cup. Lily, on the other hand, misread the instructions and threw in an entire bag of sugar instead of just 1 tablespoon. The result was a batter so runny that it looked more like pancake soup. "We need to make the pancakes thicker," Lily declared, pointing at the mess with a spoon like she had all the answers. Max, ever the problem solver, grabbed the flour container and poured what seemed like half of it into the bowl. The batter now looked like concrete. "Perfect," Max said, giving it a stir, even though the spoon barely moved. Lily watched in awe, unsure if she should be impressed or terrified. They poured the batter onto the pan, but the pancakes didn't spread like they were supposed to. Instead, they formed perfect little blobs, some of them the size of dinner plates, others the size of a marble. Max tried to flip one, but instead of gracefully turning over, it launched into the air and landed on the ceiling with a splut. "Oops," Max muttered, grinning sheepishly. Lily didn't even have time to process what had just happened before another pancake flopped out of the pan and slid off the counter, landing face first into the family dog's bowl of water. "Great," Lily sighed. "Now we have pancake soup and dog wash pancakes." Finally, after several more failed attempts, they managed to scrape together a batch of pancakes that resembled something like the original goal. They proudly set the stack on the table, but when they tried to cut into one, the pancake was so thick it nearly broke the knife. As they sat down to eat their creations, their mom walked in, surveying the scene. Pancakes were splattered everywhere, the kitchen looked like a flour bomb had gone off, and the dog was happily licking his pancake-infused water. She raised an eyebrow. "So, how's breakfast?" Lily and Max looked at each other, shrugged, and said in unison, "Best pancakes ever!" Here is another story. It was the annual charity 5K, and Mike was determined to beat his personal best. But there was a problem. Mike wasn't much of a runner. As soon as the starting gun fired, he launched himself into the race like a rocket, his legs flailing wildly as if he'd never seen a track before. In his desperate bid for speed, he nearly tripped over his own shoes. He managed to stay upright, but somehow ended up running sideways, his arms flailing like he was trying to take off. By the time he reached the first water station, his shirt was already soaked from a combination of sweat and the splash of his own flailing arms. But there was no time to stop. Mike grabbed a cup of water, only to spill most of it on his shoes. In a panic, he tossed the cup into the air and hit a bystander square in the face. The bystander just blinked, gave Mike a thumbs up, and shouted, "Good job!" As he neared the finish line, Mike realized the other runners had started walking, chatting with friends, and even waving at the crowd. Meanwhile, Mike was still in full sprint mode, grimacing with determination. But when he finally crossed the line, out of breath and in full chaos, he smiled proudly and whispered to himself, "Next year, I'll definitely train. Or maybe just walk." Thank you for watching. If you like it, please like and subscribe.